Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom,
And I am Mike.
and today we're cracking open a semi-new bottle of Penelope Single Barrel Project X straight bourbon whiskey finished in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks. I went with the whole title today. I just figured I'd get that all in there. So done. Full disclosure, I have tried this. This bottle comes courtesy of super fan of the channel, Steve. But I tried it the other day and I was impressed with it. I was gonna have Mike do it as a Mystery Mash Monday, but I said I want to get this out for those of you that are in Massachusetts, because there's quite a few guys that watch us. This happens to be a store pick from Burlington Wine and Spirits. I'm really curious to see what Mike thinks of this. So let's get into particulars on this one. This one comes in at 112 proof. Steve got it for $79.99. Now it is non-age stated. $72.99. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. My pen's dying. It's non-age stated. It's barrel number 2218-1. And the finishing cask origin is out of Jesus, Spain. Something like Jesus, Spain, something like that. The distillery is not listed on the bottle. I have to assume it's Ross and Squibb because they bought back Penelope back, but it's bottled by Penelope Bourbon Bottling Company out of St. Louis, Missouri. And again, this is selected by Burlington Wine and Spirits. I know back at one point in time, one of you guys had said, I don't know if I can try. I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of store picks from Burlington Wine and Spirits, and I don't know who does the picking over there, but they do a fantastic job on all the ones. We've yet to have one that wasn't very, very good. So this was a few days ago. It's been open a few days now when Steve had brought this one over. And I told him I'm going to probably get this one out because, A, if you guys watch the review and you get tempted to try it, I'll see what you have to say about this. I'll try to contain myself on it.
No, you don't have to.
I know. No. I'll speak out on it. He does them when Steve comes over. The part of his fun is he does like a Mystery Mash Monday with me every time. I'll go out of the room, he'll pour them, and then I have to try to guess. I can honestly say this was one of my best guessing ones I've ever did. I even got that it was finished. I guess I said it drinks around a 108. I'll see what you say. Okay, I'll stop saying what I was going to say. And I guessed around 114 proof. So I was all over this one on it. And I actually ended up saying, man, this drinks like Penelope Architect to me. And he was like, dang it, you just guessed like all of this stuff. So
when I first was reading your hieroglyphics over there, I thought this was $172.99. I was like, wow, I'm surprised you were so impressed.
Oh, yeah, because my lines. Nah, no.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm surprised Steve went that high.
No, I was
$72.99.
chicken scratching. It was chicken. You're right. And I forgot, but overall, let me get in it. So this has been open a few days. And it's funny because when I first cracked it, and in hindsight's 2020, I'm looking at the bottle and stuff, and it's a lot easier. When he did it to me, I initially got a wood smell.
I was going to say there's a very, I just got that
okay
in my nose when I took a sip. You know how sometimes I'll breathe in?
Yep.
And I got the first time like a heavy scent of oak.
Yep.
And there's a pretty good oak finish in the end.
Yep.
I was trying to see if I could get a fruit in here. But
So today, in my nose, I am getting the fruit. Full disclosure, while we did it, after we drink his, I grabbed the Penelope Architect Julio store pick, which was 110 proof, because it reminded me of the French oak. The French oak is darker and richer and deeper. Now that I'm smelling this one, I get the hint. I get the hint of like a. Like I can know where the sherry is. It smells like my grape wine that's over there. Yeah.
In this
100%. I initially went, it's a double oak. So I said I have to go with that. I didn't get that it was sherry, but I said it definitely is bringing me into double oak. You get that double oak smell right off the bat.
And taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a pretty heavy finish, oak finish, in a nice way. I don't know if I'd go 112. It's actually a pretty easy drinker.
So much like 90% of the Penelopes we've had, probably even higher than that, it drinks like super refined. There are zero elbows that come out of there.
Agreed.
A great viscosity. It hangs on. And that's what brought me, I'm like, this is sitting me back like Penelope Architect does. And that's why he's like, really? Like, you just say that out loud? I'm like, again, if if you are in that area and you get a shot, or if these are around, you'll have to let us know if these are all over the place. This was, I don't know if this is just what they called that, or if you can get one of these finishes anywhere and it's just a store pick to somebody else where it's a Project X. I don't know. That's where you guys come in. You'll have to leave a comment down below. But I know there's plenty of you guys that are in Massachusetts and plenty of you guys that are out in that way.
I mean, I have seen their little cocktail one that they got going on.
Yeah, like a peach something or
yeah.
Peach.
I can't never think of that drink that it's supposed to be, but I have not seen a black bottle, because if I would have seen it, I was like, we don't have this one.
No, right.
I would have even had to call or text you and say, did we do this one?
Did we do this one? Right. So when he brought it over the other day, I'm like, I got to see. This
nose is really jumping.
It is. And it's funny today because I know it's PX sherry, you know what I'm saying? But it's bringing a fruit oak today, where yesterday it was a double oak. And I said it could be just a straight.
Honestly, I think I would lean right now more towards a double oak.
Yep. I'm getting a hint of like I'm staring at a grape wine that I made freaking 6 months ago, and it reminds me of that smell, though. You know what I mean? Like when you crack that open. There is zero I don't like about this one. Even the price, it is non-age stated, but it brings me, and I had said this when I did it, I said I would be okay with this price because it's not as hot as like the Larcenies and Elijah's, but it drinks like them. You know what I mean? It drinks with that full flavor. It
almost has like, it either go with the double oak, or it has almost like that malt middle finish, or a malty flavor in the middle, kind of. Which I've said that I think a couple times on some of the heavier oak ones.
Right.
And maybe that's what the sherry does to it. If I could only remember that.
Right.
Because maybe the last one I did, maybe it was a sherry finish.
I don't remember. I know what you're saying, though. I can see where you would get that, because it brings a darkness to where you have like an oaky finish is one thing, but when you get a double oak, it's almost like there's almost
if I get that like middle malt flavor, which I kind of have in this one, but then it ends with a pretty pronounced oak.
It does. And you can actually smell the oak in the front. I'm actually getting a hint of that.
But I'm not getting any fruit.
Yeah, see, I'm getting a hint of that red wine. But again, that could be subliminal because I'm looking at the words. I did not, full disclosure, when Steve gave it to me, I'm like, this is a double oak of some sort. It's definitely finished.
That's where I was going where I went right off the bat.
And I said, geez, I could actually think I actually thought it could possibly be like finished in a French oak, because it's like a sweet oak, and that's where I was getting the fruit. It's almost like a sweet oak flavor that it brings me to.
I think it would compete quite heavily in a double oak if we did a blind or something. It would definitely hold its own.
Oh no, absolutely, I agree.
And you might almost think it's older than it is because it is so refined.
Right.
It is. It's pretty tasty. I'm a pretty good A on this one.
So, and that's exactly what was my grade the other day. I said, Mike may try to talk me down to an A- on this one when we crack it. I said, I don't see, there's one thing I don't like about this. This is a solid A.
No, I'm with you. If I could only remember with the last one that I had this flavor, that would have been a good competitor.
What it was either, yeah. But I told him, I'm like, you're probably going to get this one back soon, Steve. I don't even think I'm going to wait for Saturday.
It'll be a half a bottle.
I just want to go back. No, because normally when he comes back, he wants to try it again anyways. You know what I mean? But this is even better than it was when I cracked it a couple days ago, because I think a little bit of that fruit flavor is coming out in it. You know what I mean?
I'll give you an IOU.
Oh, yeah. He's...
I do kind of get that. I'll go light.
No, I think and I don't know if it's all in my head, but I think I'm getting that sherry flavor. I'm getting like my red wine flavor that I get after a little bit. I think I'm getting that, and that's what I'm in my head. I think that's what it is. But no, neither here nor there. If you have access to this bottle at this price,
few of them close to us. So
yeah, so I don't. Yeah, I mean, this is a store pick for Burlington Wine and Spirits. So. I know there's a bunch of people in Mass that are out in that general range. If you happen to see it, this is solid. There's not a lot we've drank this year that's been better than this. And it doesn't drink its 112 to me.
No, it does not.
It drinks. It's super soft.
I might even be barely at 100.
That's what I'm saying. It's in there. You barely. It really is not bringing like a hug. It's not bringing like it's not burning
crazy.
Up your throat.
Yeah, even when you swish it, there's no crazy sparkle
on your tongue. No, I agree.
Pretty.
That's exactly what I said to him, because it was the first drink of the day when he brought it over, and I said, Steve, it feels like there could be something in my mouth, but it's not hot in any way. I said, I'm only doing it because right here, like in the jowls of my throat, it feels like there's something, but it coats so good. It coats like it's a high, but it doesn't drink hot, you know?
No, it does not drink hot.
Yeah.
But it does stick around.
Yeah. But that was why I wanted to get this one out. So again, if you guys can get this around the country, I'll be curious to see. Or if they have, because it's a special barrel, is what they say. So I don't know if they're doing like this one's PX sherry. Maybe somebody else has, you know, a different wood and stuff like that. If there's Project Y or something like that, you'll have to leave a comment down below. I'm curious.
I would assume they're doing it's a
territories.
black bottle, it's a store pick. You know what I mean? I would think it'd be
Universal.
Yeah, I
It's
would
just a
think that
different place.
Yeah, and then again they could pick, like you said, whether it be a sherry or a port or whatever, and then it'll tell them whatever bottle they get.
Right, and it's Joe Blow liquor store
because they're big
in
enough
Wyoming
that they could
or
have.
something. No,
you know, they probably
absolutely.
have bins of them, and
Right.
they just say, okay, you want to buy one?
Yeah, pick your finish.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm sure they do it. It's a great idea.
Yeah,
It's
try this
not-
one, try this
I mean,
one,
how
try
many
this one.
places jack up the prices? I mean, this is more. But when we did the store pick of the store pick at Julio's, it was a little bit more money, but it's also 110 proof. Where like the regular ones are $59, but they're
Typically,
only 104.
if the stores are usually legit, they're like $10 to $15 higher than like their whatever it is. So, and I don't mind that because we've not been screwed, like you said,
No.
on any store pick really.
This is phenomenal. An easy A for me. This was an easy A. This is right up there with some of the better things that we've drank this year. Mainly because of the amount of sophistication that it brings. There is so little elbows going down with this one.
There is really
so sophisticated with a great flavor. I think I'm getting a hint of in a nice caramel that goes into a beautiful oak at the end. Like there's nothing I don't like about this one. This is a nice ride, a nice flavor, and then all around just an excellent whiskey. So again, if you guys have tried, just leave a comment down below. And again, if you can find it around the country, I'll be curious to see like if they are doing other stuff.
To say you could.
This is something, if you see it and you can get it around this price, I highly recommend it. So there you go. We keep this one short and sweet. Thank you again, Steve, for bringing this over for the donation for review. And we'll get most of it back to you anyway. So there it is.
Just add a little water.
yeah, like we did when we were kids. This is the Penelope Single Barrel Project X Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in the Pedro Jimenez Sherry Cask. So that's our review. That being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.